contagiarte del coronavirus. Hazlo por tu familia. Nada más, saca la basura. Pero quédate en casa, pues. Quédate en casa.
It gave me the feeling that this is a satire about the pandemic. And there were several things, obviously the opening where they're making the announcements about staying in your home, the extreme close-ups on him cleaning himself. It almost made me feel like, okay, so here's the juxtaposition. We're showing the difference between those who are overly, overly zealous about the pandemic and those who could care less, which was really the crux of the whole entire pandemic. You had the anti-vaxxers, the vaxxers, the people who are super focused on this, people who are like, I don't care. But so I thought this was a clever way to make this poke fun at that. And this definitely lends towards an experimental comedy, experimental satire. Just so many moments that I haven't seen in comedies before, like the moment, like the Valtrex commercial during the scenes where the partners are trying to intimately connect, like things like that. Just hilarious. Just the point of view of the writer of this piece. Just a very interesting point of view.
I like how this is a take on COVID and its effects that it's had, over the past 3 years. I like how it addresses the lack of care and consideration, unfortunately, that some people had during this time. I think a scene that does well with this to display this is the opening scene when the group is, on this boat alone. And it seems like, it speaks to those who try to sort of find loopholes, in the rules that were put in place. And it shows almost sense of entitlement, these indication that these rules were designed to, keep the majority safe. And there were many who sort of disagreed with that and expressed how much they disagreed by, sort of following the rules, but coming up with their own thing. So I think that was a huge theme that was portrayed in this feature.
We pretty much explore the acts of relationships, intimacy, kind of staying present in the moment and kind of eliminating your surroundings. There's this exercise someone leads with their partners, and they're all blindfolded in the room. And what's so funny is a YouTube video is playing and a commercial pops up. And with this commercial, it distracts them from their partner, which the facilitator eventually points out to, if a commercial is going to break you away from focusing on your partner, think of all the other things that are going to take you away from that partner. So you should be able to act towards this sense of notion here. And so that was really a good element to explore. Go through this time has passed, and then we're on the beach and we're having this moment of, you're not supposed to be here, but they're trying to just live in the moment and have a couple beers and have a good time when something tragic happens, and you see this character get emotional and get angry and be like, why did you do this? Why did you make these decisions when you knew it could lead to something like this? And you see this character going through these range of emotions, and that music composure in that moment really brings out the intensity of how our actor is feeling in this scene, only to be essentially offered a beer at the end. So it kind of shows this lack of care, of empathy, of human emotion, care for human life, so to speak, as people don't want to acknowledge and take accountability.
Emulates that sensation that I feel like many of us had during lockdown, where you basically you had the two camps: those who uh, were terrified of this pandemic and made sure to abide by all the regulations to a T, and then you had those who decided to just disrespect and disregard uh, all of the protocols and decided to just continue on with life. And I think it also does a really good job of showcasing that clash, uh, where there's a very, especially the issue of tourism and the fact that COVID very much did happen during the summertime, spring, summertime, and many people had, they were planning on having fun, going out, doing parties, uh, and the fact that the world just screeched to a halt. There was definitely a clash between these two camps where they were kind of at odds with each other because both felt like the other was tampering with their goals, their beliefs. And seeing all of that culminate together was definitely very interesting.
This is actually an accurate portrayal of how COVID was. I'm going to say they got both sides pretty accurately. The guy who's going overboard with the sanitation, wearing what looks like a garbage bag or a plastic bag over him, being really paranoid, but being in his neighbor's business because he's worried. Who all the people partying don't give a care. And we had both sides during that and around the world. It's something that happens quite often, that happened quite often during the pandemic, where people were fighting with each other. And really at the end, the guy's face was really that when he figured out the police don't really care, was like a mass confusion because he didn't know what to do. It's like his whole world had been turned upside down and what he should do now. He was conflicted. And I think a lot of people felt like that because of all the information we were being shoved at once. And this film really captured that people were reacting in different ways. Some people didn't care at all. Others cared to the point where they drove people crazy. And this kind of showed both sides of it in an accurate portrayal.
Quite intriguing, compelling. I really like the characters trying to kind of find themselves, find their inner selves while also traveling. And we have like a very nice scene in the end when they all singing by the fire and the lyrics say, the world is yours. This is a very nice message because basically all the main characters here, we feel that they wanna own the world, they wanna be with the world. They wanna become a unique thing together. So I think it was a great idea.